Hello, in this video I'll try and answer 51 of the most asked questions I've seen about SpaceBourne 2 after a week or two of playing it. The answers come from different sources and the developer was kind enough to reply to 10 of those that had no clear information available. If you don't know what this game is about, feel free to check out a previous video on this channel where I give a quick overview about it. To keep it short, SpaceBourne 2 is a mixed genre space simulator. Note, some of those answers are very likely to change over time. The developer seems to be keeping an open mind about the future of the game, especially after what looks like a successful early access launch on Steam. Ready? Let's get to it! Will there be multiplayer or co-op? No. This comes as the first question and answer by the developer himself. Do I need to play SpaceBourne 1 before playing the second one? No, a brief summary of the story and how it connects to the second game is currently available in-game. There are characters or references to events from the first game, and knowing more about the overall story should get you more interested in getting payback in the name of humanity, but playing it isn't a requirement. Will save games be compatible between versions? More or less, the developer hopes to protect save files, but mentions he's not 100% sure it can always be done. I would not expect not having to ever start over due to how much can still be added or changed in the game. Will the game rise in price over time or when released? More or less, right now the developer has no intention on raising the price when the game leaves early access if the game keeps its current planned scope. He did point out that if the project doubles in size, for example, he'll consider price increases. Will the game feature a soundtrack? Maybe? Currently, just like many indie games, the game includes music that wasn't specifically made for it. The developer mentioned that if a musician were to make music for the game, he would be happy to use it. Can you land on planets? Yes. Is the space-to-planet transition seamless? No. Will the space-to-planet transition become seamless? No, I wouldn't expect this to happen. It seems like it would take a lot of work and take time away from other potential features. Can you land on gas giants? No, I don't know why you would want that. Is Inertia a factor in spaceflight? More or less, there's a mechanic in the game called drifting, where you disable your engines and allow inertia to take over. This has both a cooldown and an uptime, so you can't drift forever. Is the game more arcade or simulator? Hybrid, but mostly arcade. Are there day-night cycles, planetary orbits, or other space simulation elements? More or less. To be sure, I asked the developer directly about this. Here's his answer. The time changes in planets, but it's not dynamic. It only refreshes when you enter a planet, and there is no night right now. It could be added later. Is there controller support? What about HOTAS support? From what I could gather from the community, there's partial support for those input methods. They currently have some issues. After player request, the developer has full support for both in his plans. Is there a first-person camera? Partially. Only for walking and running around. When you pull your guns out and get into combat, your character will use a third-person camera. The developer has clarified that making a full first-person mode will take too long and it should not happen anytime soon. Is there exploration in the game, such as points of interest or secret locations? Yes, both in planets and in space. Currently, most if not all of those are placeholders or work in progress. Are planets procedurally generated? What about dungeons and locations? Answer straight from the developer. Everything in the game is procedurally generated. Items, characters, solar systems, planets, stations, and so on. But for now, they all have the same seed, so everyone creates the same galaxy, especially when it comes to planets, solar systems, and stations. This makes it easier to test the game. Is it true that you can build your own stations? Yes, currently this feature is rudimentary and should be expanded upon later. Is station building modular? No, there are hints that stations will be upgradable in the future. There are also some hints of a more detailed building feature for the future, but no information on it yet. Can you build cities? Not yet. I have no idea if we will be able to, but this is a feature many people want. All info I could find is that the developer was testing and stressing cities, so we could, for example, have large battles in them. There seems to be performance bottlenecks and other issues on the way, so this seems like an open question. Can you build or customize interiors? No, there is no information about being able to build or customize interiors at the moment. Can you have your own faction or empire? Yes. Can you destroy an enemy faction? Maybe? Currently we cannot invade ground villages belonging to enemy factions, so they usually cannot be entirely destroyed, but there is no reason to believe this won't be a possibility soon. Do enemy factions grow or act against the player, or one another? Yes, but most accurately, mostly yes. In the latest updates, the AI factions were given the ability to attack the player and take back their lost stations and territory. The start of a diplomacy system was also added. It is very likely the answer will be yes for this question in full, given that AI faction leaders have allies and enemies of their own. Can you build an army? More or less. For now, you can have up to 4 squads of 4 soldiers or pilots each. You can have them be space forces, ground forces, or a research team, which serves no purpose yet. Can you have wingmen? Yes. They level up and can help you on story missions, random missions, or even when you're just flying around exploring. In the future, it's very likely we will also have ground support. Are there large space battles or fleet engagements? More or less. Currently, the largest fight I have seen was about 17 ships against 20 ships in some stations. I would say this is an open question and it might happen as a consequence of other features being brought into the game. The most recent update added the ability for AI factions to attack you, and those battles are already bigger than the ones I've seen before. Will there be animals in the game? It's in the roadmap. There's little information about it, but the developer has shown interest on this feature. Are there companions? More or less. There are a few characters that can join your crew and provide different passive and active abilities to your ship. They don't show up on ground battles yet. It seems that they will each have their own skills when fighting on the ground too. Is there character customization? Yes. Are there vanity items, casual clothing or costumes? No, and there's no information about it at this time. Some players have suggested helmets though. Are there land vehicles? More or less. There's a hoverbike to explore and find POIs faster on planets. Do ships have special abilities? Yes, they are called perks and they are randomly applied to ships, so you can have the same ship with completely different perks for different purposes. Do ships have drones or probes? Yes, probes are used for exploration and for grabbing looting space, and drones are used for space combat. Will ships have interiors? Maybe? From what's available, for both big and small ships, this will depend on whether the developer will have the time and money to add those, but he has mentioned he has clear interest in this feature. Can you own multiple ships? Yes. Can you fly capital ships? Will we be able to? Yes. The developer joked that capital ships can already be tried out, but only on his build. Can you jump out from the ship and fight as a character at any moment? More or less, you can fight in space and you can fight on the ground. Currently, there's not much interaction between both. However, when you are on the ground, you can hit and kill targets like enemy drones. If you eject in space, however, you can only use your weapon if you land somewhere, like a station. Is there orbital bombardment or air-to-ground combat? Not yet. When flying a ship, you don't really hurt ground units. Many players are interested in features like this. Do the player level up? Is there an RPG system? Yes. There are 3 types of player level, each with their own skills and perks. Are there skills like throwing grenades, deploying turrets, energy shields? Yes. Those skills are already available, some may still need some polish or balancing. Can you mine in the game? Yes, you can mine manually or with a mining ship that carries a mining drone. Is mining a viable way to play? More or less. Some people seem to like it and to have fun with it, but mining is still in development, especially since the economy is not yet fully implemented. Will there be some form of a simulated economy? More or less. There are hints that in the future trade will be implemented and the economy expanded. However, there's also posts from the developer mentioning he doesn't plan to make trading as complex as on the first game. Overall, it seems that this is an open question and trading will adapt to the necessities of other features. Can you play Space Trucker Simulator on this? Not yet. Currently, you can sell loot to grab during combat, but there is not yet an economy with trade wares or goods. Factions have stations that produce resources, but those are still early in development. Will there be NPC Traders and Haulers? The developer mentioned that he is very interested in this feature, but he is still waiting on ship models and interiors. Will there be crafting? Yes, the developer confirmed that a crafting system is planned for future updates. We will be able to refine or use ores in some way. Maybe Currently yours can only be sold. There's no direct information on this yet, but based on available information about mining, trading and crafting, it is likely yours should have more uses in the future. Will there be police ships or police NPCs? It's in the roadmap. There's already a foundation of a crime system, but the consequences and security response is pretty weak. The feature is a work in progress. Can you be a pirate? You can already attack neutral ships, or even track their warp drive and engage them in deep space. You can also attack some villages in planets and steal their loot. Through faction operations, you can plunder enemy stations for money and resources. You can contact ships and tell them to give you their money or goods, which I'm not sure if they ever surrender yet. However, true piracy requires an economy to be in place, things to steal, and consequences to avoid or work around, so I guess it will depend on how expensive the economy will be. Will we be able to board ships, steal ships, or cargo? Yes, the developer described this as being his current dream to implement, but currently he's looking for a 3D artist for building large ships with interiors. He mentioned he could try and make all models and interiors himself, but then it would take many years for the game to be finished. Can you salvage ships, wrecks, or derelicts? Not yet. I almost forgot to include this one. The developer said he wants to add a salvaging feature, but he does not want it to be about, in his own words, pressing a button, getting a 10-second laser show, and receiving some loot. So this should be added in some way or another in the future. And those were the 51 most asked questions about the present or future features of SpaceBourne 2. If there is anything you would like to know about or see in the game, the developer is open to questions and suggestions. Just head over to the game's Discord server. There is already hundreds of suggestions about features and improvements, but the reality is, for now, the project is made by a single person. The space simulator genre always needs more games, so I hope this game develops nicely. This video was a big project for me to take on, and it took a while to finish. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like and subscribe. I would like to thank everyone for the support so far. The channel has passed 100 subscribers very quickly, which I really wasn't expecting. Thank you for watching and fly angry.